Hello YouTubers, this is the Noobifier and welcome to a rundown of what I feel are the current assault and boarding craft within Star Citizen. This information took a chunk of time to piece together in a no bullshit format. If you got something out of it, please consider linking it over to a friend or orgmate. Let's begin. It's true that technically you don't even need a craft to perform boarding, but today we're talking about craft that are specifically for or well suited for boarding operations. This subcategory of ship will not only let you carry troops, but also deliver them directly into FPS combat. Ship to ship, ship to space station, and in the future, ship to planet. It makes sense to first identify some categories of the craft, to figure out what qualities they possess to make them better suited than others. The current common types within Star Citizen are Gunship and Dropship. We also have some ships in the works with troop delivery modules, and I can also see some that'll let you perform boarding on a budget, but more on that later. A dropship is a weaponized troop transporter, and a gunship is a fighting ship that can carry troops. Initially that might sound very similar, but the distinction is really in the balance between the troops, protection, and the guns. The dropship's main purpose is to deliver troops into battle, and the gunship is more about blowing stuff up with guys in the back. Here are the three ships within Star Citizen that are tailor-made for this type of gameplay. The Aegis Redeemer. This is designated as a gunship. And with that comes good armor, strong turrets, and in this case an integrated living quarter for the crew. It's slated to carry 6 Marines into battle, plus the crew of 2 turret gunners and a pilot. Technically you could empty the ship and have a total force of 9 people. This ship would be perfect for a small org doing patrol operations and basic boarding. I believe that the Redeemer will be very well suited for land-based support to operations and space boarding equally. Sadly, I don't think we should get too excited about its current design. It's slated for a major rework. The Redeemer was the winning citizen design from a contest called the Next Great Starship. This was well before CIG was using style guides that defined the look and feel of the ship manufacturers. I don't feel that this old design looks anything like other Aegis ships, and with that I'm predicting that what's finally launched will be as exciting as the new Cutlass. The Aegis Hoplite, derived from the long-range Deep Space Heavy Vanguard series. This retrofitted hull has some strong lineage. This ship started out as a capable heavy fighter that can be effectively operated by a single person. I see the turret as an add-on rather than critical. By leaving only the pilot, it could also allow a small org to put more boots on the ground. The pilot could safely patrol the area or even be called upon for support. This could also mean reduced operating costs because of fewer AI gunners. To me, the Redeemer is a bit of a Black Hawk with door gunners, and the Hoplite is more like a light tank with seats in the back. Both are very strong, and I love this diversity within Star Citizen because it allows the player to handpick the right ship for the way that they want to play. The Prowler, an alien-inspired dropship with stealth and stealth boarding at the core of its design. This ship was said to have a high skill payoff, and that quality could also be its most limiting one. It's designed from the ground up as a pure stealth boarding craft. Because it's an alien-inspired ship, its pledge price was very high, and I imagine it'll be very difficult to buy after launch. It's a quick and agile dropship with a good weapon loadout. Its unique troop delivery will allow for a quicker troop deployment, and I see some real potential. My org is a PMC with security and bounty in mind. Even though this ship could be very useful, in my opinion, its pure linear gameplay makes it somehow less appealing than a hoplite. I see it very well suited for any situation where surprise is the main factor. Moving on, there have been 2 ships with proposed modules for delivering troops, the Retaliator and the Genesis Starliner. The Retaliator is a military heavy bomber that can be retrofit with modules to carry troops. I like this idea because you could end up with a wider range of gameplay from a single ship. The proposed configuration is intended to carry 12 troops and place them directly into battle. The module would replace a torpedo bay and convert the bay into a ready room with seats, gun racks, and power armor charging nodes. The Retaliator has no pilot-fired weapons other than the torpedoes, so if you plan to empty the turrets to perform any type of mission, you'll be completely vulnerable. Then the plan that would make the most sense would be to fully crew the ship and then load up with Marines. Just be aware that the ship could be pretty expensive to crew, and it's a nice juicy target. There's also no clear idea on how the troops would actually exit the Retaliator. They would either need to use the lift, which offers 0 protection, or there'd be some way to open the floor of the troop module. The Genesis Starliner was sold at concept with some proposed variants and modularity. One of the plans was a military transport. Some citizens on the forums immediately assumed dropship. The only reason I'm mentioning it here is to squash any misconception that it might be eventually used as an effective dropship. It has specific modules planned to move and house troops, barracks, weapons vaults, and other military-centric functions. Dropping this massive ship into a war zone is just going to be too risky. The number of troops leaving the ship would burn time and increase the risk. Think of this more like a C-17, a way to move soldiers into a theater of war rather than delivering them directly into combat. I want to close up by rounding out some other candidates, the Cutlass Black and the Freelancer. I feel that both would make sense if used as a troop delivery ship. The side doors, ramps, and strong ship weapons would seem to suit the role very well. I also really like that these ships are common in the verse. Seeing one wouldn't automatically imply an assault like the Prowler or the Redeemer. And just for a laugh, I propose the Argo Transport. No protection, no weapons, no jump drive. How epic would it be to successfully pull off an assault on a Polaris with a $35 ship? In closing, when I decided that this gameplay was something I wanted, I chose a hoplite. I considered the practical nature of having a ship that didn't need troops to be effective, but could carry them when needed. Thanks very much for spending your time with me today. If you enjoy my no bullshit approach, please help me spread the word about Star Citizen by linking this to a friend. Fly safe, and I'll see you in the verse.